Welcome to Among the Stones. In this video, I will share my experience and everything I know about having and raising dwarf goats, which has been an absolute dream come true. I went through years of footage, and in doing so, it brought so many wonderful memories, which gave me great joy. However, making this video to be under an hour was a great challenge. Most videos are taken from an old phone of mine in selfie mode, so it's not the best quality, but at least it shows our experience. If you're new to this channel, welcome. We also have chickens, ducks and bunnies too, and at the end of the series, I will reveal which of these animals have been my favorite. So stick around. If chickens bring rhythm, dwarf goats bring joy. Life is a playground to them. They're curious about everything. Your drawstrings, your pockets, your shoes, the bucket you're holding, the bucket you're not holding. They greet you like old friends when they see you, sometimes with a gentle nuzzle, sometimes with a mischievous head bump that says, "I'm happy you're here, now let's play." And they deeply connect with humans when they feel safe. Dwarf goats have some of the biggest personalities packed into the smallest bodies. Our one goat, Spirit, had a huge personality. Very temperamental, moody, sweet, rough, and we just never knew what we'll get from him on the day. But he was also the one I connected with on a very deep level. He was that intense. I saw myself in him, someone battling with their emotions and not always knowing how to express it. Everything is a mountain to a goat. A log, a bale of straw, your back if you're sitting on the ground. Climbing isn't just fun for them, it's instinct. It keeps their bodies agile, their hooves healthy, and their minds bright. Give them structures, rocks, platforms, an old chair, and they'll turn it into a playground. And when one goat climbs, the others also follow. They're herd creatures. Where one goes, the rest go too. And boy, are they capable of jumping very high and can be little escape artists. We sometimes let them out their pen to roam around, supervised of course, because it can get very chaotic if they lose each other and just because it's out of their routine. And if you do make it their routine, they will cry when they are not let out. They can also be very destructive in the garden. Doing whatever she wants. Dwarf goats don't like being alone. They are the happiest in pairs or groups, and their bond is very obvious. They nap together, they graze together, and call for each other when separated. A soft meh from one gets a gentle reply from another. It's their way of checking in. I'm here too. Therefore, they will scream their lungs out when you walk away or when one goat gets taken away. Their connection is simple but deep.
Hey, goedjes. Hey, liefie.
We were given 2 goats initially. They had a baby, then 2 more. And then eventually, even though we were giving goats away, at some stage we just had too many. So we finally gave all our males away and now are left with these 3. Roxy, June, and Rose. 3 generations. Roxy is the oldest, and even though she is June's mom and Rose's grandmom, she bullies them and gets preference to eat first. June and Rose are mom and daughter and have the closest bond. I remember the person giving the goats to us saying, "I hope you guys know what you're getting yourself into. Goats require structure and routine. Feeding time is a small drama every day. They gather around the hay like they're never going to see food ever again. And they need to be fed by sunrise as early as 5 a.m. in summer, otherwise they wake up the whole neighborhood. Our property is still technically residential and farm animals are not really allowed. However, I spoke to the authorities who said they should just not bother the neighbors."
Very upset. Lucy? Mama is coming. Hello, bye. Are you okay?
We give our goats lucerne or alfalfa hay, which is high in protein and digestible energy. Fresh branches, usually Port Jackson, and sometimes wild olive trees, and bush tickberry that grow in and around our property abundantly. And fresh water. They also get the occasional snack of the chicken's grains, the bunny's shandy chef, or fresh veggies. They love fruits like kai apple and blueberries, although it's a very rare snack. They're creatures of habit, so we don't make a habit of feeding them certain things, otherwise they will cry too much.
Rose? Is jou hartjie baie seer? Oh, shamepie. Yeah, because she's not allowed to run outside because she's naughty. Yeah. It's not going to happen, my darling. If you're that naughty,
When you live with dwarf goats, you learn their voices, the impatient meh for food, the soft questioning when they want attention, the long dramatic wail if they think you've forgotten them. Usually you haven't.
Why? Why? Huh?
Each goat has its own tone, its own personality in sound. Some are gentle.
Hi, baby. Oh, you little baby goat. Hi, puppy. Hello, my
Some are
darling.
dramatic.
Ah, come on. Spirit!
Some are tiny comedians.
Hello. Oh, you. Yo. Spirit! Spirit! Roxy!
There is nothing in this world quite like baby goats. They come into life already spring-loaded, bouncing off the ground as if gravity is only optional. They chase each other in circles, leap onto anything they can climb, then collapse suddenly into sleep. Tiny chests rising and falling. You will be their own personal playground if you sit still enough.
Huh? Yesterday you couldn't jump on my lap and now?
The mothers are patient and watchful and loving. In the first few weeks of their baby lives, they only drink milk, but they will smell and explore adult food. And they smell like marshmallows, and they're as soft as little puppies. In my experience, the girl baby goats, the dolings, play the roughest. They're just fearless and crazy. Until they get bigger, they become calmer, and that's when the male goats get rough. Both male and female goats will bump heads, most of the time playfully. However, males fight for real sometimes. So you will find two female goats bumping heads, or you can find a male and a female goat bumping heads, just playfully. We've had no issues with our goats in the 6 years we've had them. They had ticks a few times, but I think the chickens got rid of that cycle. And recently, they had a type of skin lice in winter. No idea how they got that, but one dip sorted it out. We only ever took our first 2 goats to the vet to get dewormed. On that day, the vet also informed us Roxy was pregnant with twins. As a first-time goat mom, I prepared a baby room, and Roxy gave birth to only 1 buckling. I didn't know how long it took between birth of twins and wondered if I should call a vet. So I called the person who gave us the goats instead, who informed us it takes about 20 minutes between births. We then made the decision to not go to the vet, as putting mom and baby in the back of a truck would be too stressful considering how happy mom was behaving with her newborn. And it turned out she only had 1 baby the first round. I've learned not to lean onto vets and not just call them or take an animal there for everything, and instead look after my animals the best we can. Of course, if there's an emergency, I will take one of our animals to the vet, which I have done many times. I'll tell you in other videos. One of the most special times with baby goats was when Roxy gave birth to her last set of twins, round 3. By this time, I've developed such a strong bond with Roxy. Knew her well, she trusted me, and when I heard her make those deep guttural sounds, I knew she was about to give birth. I dropped everything I was doing and went over to watch. I filmed the whole experience and stayed close. It was magical. They are such good mamas. And she trusted me. She let me help out where needed. In my experience, they also gave birth in the coldest month of the year, sometimes in the rain, and these little creatures just get through it. The babies come out feet first, and for that reason, they have soft, gelatinous hooves at birth to protect the mom from injury during delivery. These soft hoof capsules, also called jelly toes, harden and shed within hours or days after birth, allowing the kid to stand and move properly. They have no horns when they are born, but after a few weeks, these hard spots develop on their heads as their horns develop. In an ideal world, I can just keep having baby goats because they are such a joy to have.
I want to do it all day. It's just baby goat bums squeezes all day long. Oh, you look so cute.
Unfortunately, they do become less playful as they get older. As evening settles, even the wildest goats soften. They graze quietly, staying close together. One last nuzzle, one last little hop, then they settle in. The sound of tiny hooves fades, replaced by peaceful chewing, soft breaths, and the deep comfort of the herd resting together. Sometimes, just before dusk, they might get the zoomies one last time before they settle for the night. The only times we've experienced them being noisy at night is when we have changed their sleeping location or when the females are hormonal. Now, if you've watched this far in the video, I will let you in on a little secret. There's one interesting thing we notice in these dwarf goats, is how much they love inner thigh scratches, from as young as 3 days old. We even tested this on goats on the island of Kalymnos in Greece, and those goats did not care for inner thigh scratches. So if you scratch them on the inside of the thigh, they just completely relax. They'll even lift the leg so that you can really get in there. It is the cutest thing. They love head scratches and being brushed. There's a permanent brush attached under their house for them to rub on. And they smell their own or each other's pee and then pull their faces like this. Dwarf goats remind us that life does not always need to be serious. They show us that even on the hardest days, there's room for a little bounce, a little climb, a little mischief, and a lot of connection. Thank you so much for watching and listening to my experience of raising dwarf goats. I'm sure I've missed a lot and didn't remember all the things I've experienced. All I know, it's been an absolute joy to raise them. Please share in the comments if you learned something new or found something interesting, or what experience you've had with goats. I'm so curious to know. Please consider subscribing if you like the video, or watch some other videos and then decide. Sending you so much love.
Cool. Spirit. Spirit. Spirit.